Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the 904 Fishing Podcast. I am your host, Alex, joined with my co-host, Nick.
How's it going, everybody? Long time no see.
No kidding, no kidding. We've had some crazy stuff going on in our life, but we're back. We're going to be getting back into it. We were going to do it yesterday, but we might be switching to Tuesdays going forward just for a little while. Nick's got a... Nick, what do you do? Top golf, right?
So I got invited to do a little Top Golf League. I'm not very good at golf. I can hit the ball decent sometimes, but it's just on Monday nights from 6 to 9. Nice. But yeah, that'll be going on just for, I think, 6 weeks. So
yeah, for a little while there,
not
we'll
very...
probably be moving over to Tuesdays just to help accommodate that.
Yeah, I appreciate that because I definitely enjoy being on. It's always a good time.
Hell yeah, we enjoy having you. But today's episode, as you guys can tell from the title, is going to be about kayaking and fishing, specifically fishing kayaks, because there are a ton of different kayaks out in the world. But we're going to focus today mostly on the fishing aspects of kayaks and their applications and whatnot. We're going to be going all over. We're going to be going all over different things, and the different kinds of kayaks and their applications, and how you guys can pick the best one that's suitable for you going forward. Because I know I've had a couple different kayaks. Nick, I know you've had a couple different kayaks, and it really depends what you want to do with it. Depends on which one you get.
Oh yeah,
without a doubt. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. I think we're going to start with the best. The best fishing kayak that you can get overall when it comes to kayaking for specifically the application and the purpose for fishing is the sit-on-top kayaks. And there's a ton of them, but I think the sit-on-tops are really going to be the best ones.
Yeah, I gotta agree there because I mean that's like a good budget one that you can start off with, or even if you spend a little more. I mean, it's one of the most simple ones that you can do. You can't mess it up. I mean, as long as you remember a paddle. But I think best overall, all around, I got to agree on that one for sure. You can just do so much with it, and I mean, for a really fair price.
Yeah, exactly. And you can get sit-on-top kayaks that range anywhere from, I mean, my first sit-on-top kayak was $70. You can get them from $70 all the way up to like $3,000. But that kind of breaks down more into what you want to do with it and the different kinds. But overall, just the generic sit-on-top kayaks, you guys can find those at your, you can find them at Walmart, Dick's Sporting Goods, your local tackle shop, Academy. You can find them pretty much anywhere from $200.
Mountain Bass Pro, y'all know.
Yeah, exactly. $200 all the way up to probably $500 or $600 is a good intro sit-on-top kayak. And the sit-on-top kayaks, they do have a lot of perks to them. They're easier to get in and out of if the worst happens and you guys flipping them or something goes wrong. All of your gear isn't trapped inside the kayak. You don't have to go back to the shore and empty all the water out. It's not going to sink, stuff like that. So there's perks and pros and cons to it, and I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons when it comes to sit-on-top kayaks.
Definitely.
I think the adverse to that would be sit-in kayaks, and sit-in kayaks they definitely have their applications, but I don't think they're very good for fishing because of what I just said. If you guys flip over, something goes wrong, you could take on water, you could lose gear inside of it. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong with sit-in kayaks that I just don't think is very conducive to a good fishing experience as compared to what you would get with a sit-on-top kayak. So I definitely would recommend the sit-on-tops.
Yep. I've fished from sit-ins, and it's like, you can do it, but pretty much to the whole premise of, if you get water in there, you're going to be sitting in there with water too. And it's a lot easier with a sit-on-top kayak. You have more movement. I mean, if you want to stretch your legs out, and if you want to stretch your legs out, it depends if you have a seat on there or just the built-in seat that comes with it. Then I mean, you could actually lay flat on it. I've done it before I've had a seat on there, and that was kind of nice because I could lay out, stretch my back out, and soak up some sun.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've even been able to do that on my kayak. Is I lean my seat all the way back,
Oh yeah.
loosen the straps, and I've been able to stretch out on my kayak. And I'm a tall guy, so it's one of those things that like I said, the pros outweighs the cons. At the end of the day, is just what you're going to run into. So definitely something to look into and think about. Because I worked at Dick's Sporting Goods for a little while there, and a lot of people would come in and they would ask, oh, I heard that sit-in kayaks were more stable, they were easier, they were lighter. And I said, yeah, but what are you going to be doing with it? Because if you're just going to be paddling around looking at stuff, yeah, sit in, go for it. But if you're going to be fishing, if you're going to be moving around, if you're going to be having fish in there, you definitely want to sit on top.
I'm going to say the sit-in kayak is like the 4-door sedan grocery getter. It gets the job done, but it just depends on what you're going for.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a sit on top is going to be, I'm gonna say it's going to be a sports car.
Yeah. It's going to be your 2-door Chevy that you can't carry people with, but you can haul stuff if you need to.
I have towed my girlfriend, my fiance. We were in Itchituckney Springs. Yep. For some reason, they had kayakers and canoers going up current, which I get, kind of. But that was her first time going in a kayak, and we didn't have a tandem kayak. So there were some spots where I just had to hook up a rope to the back of mine and just pull her on through. It was an extreme workout for me because I don't know if anybody's ever had to tow a kayak by hand.
With another kayak.
Upstream, up a pretty stiff current. It's
doable, not advised.
Good workout.
Yeah,
it's a good workout. It's a good workout. And then whenever you see a gator in the water, it's like a little extra boost of energy to hurry up.
Quick shot of adrenaline, eh?
Yeah.
There you go.
Rage.
Hey, there you go. The next kayak we're going to talk about is going to be stand-up fishing kayaks, which are basically just paddle boards. Skiffs, paddle boards. You guys have seen them. They've really been making a big impact on the market lately, I feel like. But it definitely it's one of those things that I wouldn't recommend it for beginners if you're just getting started, because you're not going to have a lot of
waves.
You're not going to have a lot of the comfort. You're not going to have a lot of the stability that you'll have on a regular sit on top kayak. You do have a lot of advantages. You can stand, you can sit, you can lay down, you can see more, you can see higher, you can get more vantage points, all kinds of stuff like that. But you're sacrificing a lot of stability for that. So if you're just getting started, I would not recommend a paddleboard or stand up. Yeah. And a lot of people I know, they think like, oh, okay, this is just a paddleboard. I just grab it and go. But you don't have any tie down points. You got to put all your gear just right on top with you. There's no rod holders. There's no gear tracks. There's no nothing. You're just out there, It's not.
Yeah, that sounds sketch.
Yeah. For the beginner, would not recommend it. It's definitely, you're like I said, you're going to have a lot more room. You're going to have a lot more space to put stuff. But that's also going to change your stability. It's going to change your weight distribution. Going through waves, if things aren't properly tied down, you could lose something. If a boater comes by and they're not paying attention, as we have had all too often happen to us, Nick, it's one of those things that could really, really affect your day.
Yeah, I'd agree. I don't even... So I know paddle boards. I don't know, is there any specific kayak that you can give me for reference just to look up so I can actually put a picture of it in my mind?
Yeah, so like I said, they go by a ton of different names. And one of the things that I know, like skiffs, I think is what they're called nowadays. Like,
I was about to say, I'm just going to look up a stand-up fishing kayak. I see Hoodoo Hero 13.
Yeah, like they're basically just skiffs is what they are. Like you've seen Boat has them. You know what I'm talking about? Boat, B-O-T.
I don't know.
Boat has
a micro skiff.
That's basic. Yeah, that's basically what they are. It's one of those things that, like I said, there are advantages to it. Some of them are big enough you can put a motor on. Some of them are inflatable, which we'll get into a little bit later. Some of them have stand-up bars. There's other perks to them, but for the beginner, I wouldn't really recommend it. And honestly, the application that they're good for is like intercoastal flats. Like they're going to have a very small wake profile. They're going to be able to skim through very shallow water. So if you're not fishing in water like that, I wouldn't recommend it. Especially down in our area, I don't see a ton of people with them just because it's not one of those things that you're regularly going to use or be able to use.
It's a pontoon style fishing kayak. $5,000, yeah. I think I'll just get a normal boat.
Yeah, exactly. At that point, exactly. So it's one of those things like you can do it, but I wouldn't recommend it for fishing. It's not a great one for fishing. You can, and plenty of people do, but I personally would not recommend it.
Yeah, for the price point, you got a lot better options out there.
Exactly.
Under the price point from what I'm viewing.
Well, exactly. And like Nick was saying, you would not hesitate if you're getting one of those stand-up, paddleboard, kayak kind of deals. You're going to drop $3, $4, $5 easy all day long, all day long. Which brings us into our next one, actually, is the pedal-driven fishing kayaks. I have a pedal-drive kayak myself. I only spent $900 on it, and it works like a charm. I freaking love it. It's awesome.
I actually was just seeing that. The Hoodoo Tempest 120.
Yep, the Hoodoo Tempest 120P. That's what I have, yep.
1,200.
Yep.
Not bad.
Nope.
See, and here's the thing, too, y'all. Before Thanksgiving, before I got in a dang car accident, I was looking at, let me pull it up real quick so I can tell you all the brand, because it looked pretty decent from many reviews and price point. So it's a Brooklyn kayak company. BKC is, abbreviation for that, but a PK12. Sit on top with pedal drive, hand control rudder, paddle, and upright seat. It says MSRP is $22.99, but the final price on their website is $1,261. And it's got different camos. You got green camo.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not loading, but other camos or just blue, yellow, or red. And honestly, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing as Alex. It's a propeller drive, so it's not like the
with the fins and whatnot underneath.
Yeah, the Hobie fins, so you can actually reverse, which I think
very important in my opinion.
Yeah, because if we're getting to it, I mean, I've never been on a pedal drive kayak or a paddle drive with the fins like a
Hobie and whatnot.
Yes, like a Hobie. Yeah, but from what I've seen, reverse is crucial because you can't always just face the current. So
100%.
If there's any time that you want to just hold steady and not be facing towards the current, then I think a pedal drive is with a propeller is just going to make a lot more sense. Yeah. There's a bunch of moving parts in both of them, but also if you do get some line tangled up around your propeller, like I've seen before, Alex, but
what
he can reverse and just then
untangle
you can get the line out.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and I think
very easy to use.
Yeah. Like I really want to get one because
it's a complete game changer, and I can attest to this because I went directly from a sit on top kayak to the pedal drive kayak. I was, I had my sit on top for the longest time, and I beat it to death. And I said, when I finally got rid of it and we were moving and I needed to get a new kayak and I went a couple months without getting one. And I said, you know what? I could get a regular sit on top kayak right now, or I can wait a little bit and I'm going to find a pedal drive kayak because that's what I want. Everyone's telling me to get one. Everyone's telling me that they're, a complete game changer. I'm just going to wait and get a pedal drive kayak. And, my fiance actually helped get me one for Christmas that year. And it's been
very nice.
Completely like I never really understood how much of a game changer it was until the first time I took it out and we went fishing, and the stability. Yeah. And for those of you listening, I have a Hoodoo Tempest 120P pedal drive kayak in the gray mist. They have a ton of different colors. They've got purple, blue, gray, molten lava, marine, and then they've also got a seafoam, like solid seafoam one that was pretty cool. But I ended up getting mine secondhand from a gentleman off Facebook, and he had it listed.
Marketplace.
Gotta love it. Gotta love Marketplace. Looked on there. He had it for $900, and I asked him. I said, and they retail for $1,500. And so I messaged him and I said, hey, what's going on? Why do you got it for so cheap? And he said, hey, I got this kayak. I love it. I took it out one time. And, now the wife wants to go out with me, but she doesn't want a kayak. So we're just going to get a boat. I need $900 for the down payment. And I said, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. And,
Yeah.
and I rolled up. Yeah, I rolled up, checked it out, and it was in pristine condition. Everything was perfect on it. No rust, no nothing. Everything was where it was supposed to be. $900. I'm on my way. And I took it out that day. I picked it up, strapped it to the top of my car, and took it out that day.
Did you go to Doctor's Lake?
Yep, ended up going to Doctor's Lake and just pedaling around. I want to say I did 5 or 6 miles on it in like 2 hours.
Jeez.
I didn't break a sweat, no problem, nothing. It was amazing. It was right after Thanksgiving last year, and so no one was on the water. It was perfect. I had some coffee that I took out. It was amazing. It was absolutely sublime, that experience. And it's just it's one of those things that I'm even now. We recently went to Tampa last week on a little tangent here. We recently went to Tampa last week, and I ended up going to a photography museum. And I saw these pictures, and
nice.
it was a exhibit on the Florida panther. And I was looking at some of these pictures they had, and I'm thinking, like, I've seen places like this when I've been out kayaking. So now I'm probably going to take my kayak out and take my nice camera out. And, I got a Nikon D7500 and take it out and go, take wildlife photos back in these areas that are, kind of tucked away and hidden away that I can get to with all of this heavy equipment and this expensive equipment without fear of flipping over or losing it or anything like that. And I can get there very quickly because of my pedal drive system, and it's going to be amazing. So, it's one of those things that even when I'm not fishing off of it, I can still use it as an amazing kayak.
Yeah, because with just pedaling with your legs, I feel like that gives you more awareness of what's going on around
Absolutely.
you and on the kayak. So that way, if you're paddling with a paddle,
your hands are occupied.
You could maybe be knocking something over, or like what happened to me. Like there was a video of where I lost my paddle in a pretty strong current, and I had to a pylon, but piling, whatever. We're not getting into the piling debate again. But going back to the pedal drive also, for a little more money than a traditional sit on top, I feel like that really it bridges the gap like quite nicely to getting a boat, so that
100%,
way it's like
100%.
You don't want to, even if you find a boat for cheap, you got to worry about fuel,
yeah, I was about to say fuel, registration,
license,
all the safety,
maintenance.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
And if it's for cheap, you're gonna have to fix all that. And they, boats break out another 1,000. They say, I've seen that.
Well, that was what was that? Dallas was gonna go out with his dad on their boat, and everything was perfect. Oh, I didn't know about the second time. This is the first time they were gonna go out, and they went out, no problems. They tested everything the night before. Everything was perfect. They get out there, get on the water, trolling motor out, go to start the engine won't start, and they're like, what's going on? And it ended up being the fuel pump just went out.
And
it's just one of those things.
His dad went to go take it out on Black Creek, and it was running really rough, like it was breaking up real bad.
Ooh.
So then it had to, I think it was something about it needed a tune-up, but that was a goofy situation from what I heard, because then it's like it was just at the shop. All this
just one of the it's one of those it's one of those things. Like, you can do all the preventative maintenance, you can do everything you're supposed to. Things will still go wrong, and you're mitigating that with a pedal drive. Like, I've had things go wrong with my pedal drive, and when I'm out on the water and I get, something goes wrong, I ground the propeller in the sand because I'm not paying attention or something. Like, there are downsides, but it's definitely mitigated when you have a pedal drive kayak, in my opinion.
And plus, like, you still, if something happens with the pedal drive system, then you still have a paddle.
Exactly.
As backup.
Exactly. You're still in a kayak. You're not dead in the water.
Yeah, so you're still up, and then it definitely helps you from taking L's. I mean, talking about it makes me really want to buy one. I need to win a scratch off or stumble upon some buried treasure or something. But yeah, because that's for me whenever I'm out there with Alex. And then in the last fishing video that we had, the last time I saw Alex was whenever we were out there in Heckscher and we slayed out there. I was having a hard time keeping up with Alex and Brad, because Brad was on a motorized.
He was on a motorized. Yep.
And Alex was on his, and let me check the topic, see if I can bridge this nice and smoothly here.
There you go.
So, no, I can't. But you want to bring us into the next one?
Yeah. So the very next one, and this isn't the next one in line that we have, but it's we never follow the script.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about
No, we were gonna. No, I was gonna talk about the motorized fishing kayaks. That is one of the talking points that we have.
I was going to bridge it into there, but then I saw it was out of order, so
I don't care. It's
didn't
whatever.
go for it.
As long as we cover everything, it don't matter.
That's a good point.
But speaking of running into problems on the water, we went out and I just linked it in the video. If you guys watched that video, if you guys have seen that video, Nick,
great video, y'all.
Awesome video, definitely highly recommend. Nick and I go out with my buddy Brad, and Nick's got a sit on top paddle kayak. I have a sit on top pedal drive kayak, and then my buddy Brad has a sit on top motorized kayak. So he actually has a trolling motor on his kayak with a battery, and it's a little electric motor and whatnot. And
Sounds great, right?
Yes, it was awesome. Yeah, it was great. And we go across the channel, and it was a little rough, not going to lie, a little hairy getting out there.
It should be easy for a motorized, right?
Yeah, it should be super easy. And I look back, and Nick and I are across the channel with all these boats coming in and out. And I look back, and Brad's just floating down the channel. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's
That's
up? What's going on, buddy? And I forgot my walkie-talkies that day. And so, we didn't have the walkie-talkies, but I'm getting new ones. I'm getting a 4-pack so that no matter how many people go out, we all have walkies. And he goes, I'm dead in the water. And I said, what do you mean you're dead in the water? He said, I have no power. And I was like, that's not good. So I, pedal it over to him and take a look at it. And his wires ended up coming undone in the back where it connects to the trolling motor. And so he was just completely dead in the water. And we actually ended up having to beach the kayaks and do like a little quick fix, a sandbar right there.
A quick fix?
I mean, it worked.
Sandbar repair?
It worked,
Yeah, it sure did.
But, we were basically standing there on the sandbar, with our phone. Hi, Alex with, or what is it? What is the car guy? Chris Fix or Chris? What is it?
Chris Fix here.
Chris Fix here.
I tell you, don't do this to any of your cars. This will ruin your car. And it's like putting different wheels on it. This will ruin the transmission. I'm indifferent to Chris Fix.
But that's basically
don't get me started.
That's like the meme, is like, oh yeah, no, I'm a mechanic, I can do this, and you come out a little later and he's sitting under the car with his legs poking out under the car, and all you can hear from under the car is, hey guys, Chris Fix here with another video. That's basically what we were doing on the sandbar, trying to think of. We're looking through our tackle boxes. We're like, all right, we got fishing wire, we got pliers, we got a paper clip, and some bubble gum. Let's do it. Let's MacGyver this. And it did end up working for the day, and he was able to get back and get everything sorted, and now it's much more secure now because I ended up going out with him a little while later on Thanksgiving, so he's got it sorted now. But yeah, that's
good.
It's one of those things, motorized kayaks are great when they're working, but they're just like a boat because his kayak, he has a Pelican powered, or no, it's the Pelican Catch 100 powered.
It is not Pelican powered.
No.
Animal abuse.
Oh no. No. It's the Pelican Catch 100 power, and it's a kayak that's basically a little boat. It's only a 9-foot kayak, but its weight limit is like 450 pounds or something insane like that. It's not made to be paddled, like traditionally paddled. It's made to. It's got a transom on the back. It's made to be motorized. So, when he was out there and he didn't have his motor fully operational, he was really hitting, I straight up told him, I was like, hey, if we can't get this secure in like a safe manner, we're going to have to like go back for the day. Like you're going to have to go back and we're going to have to figure something else out because you can't be out here like that.
Go back and we're going to have to go fish.
Yeah, right. Like, man, that sucks. Good luck. Nick and I are going fishing.
Yeah, no. Damn, that's tough.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. Good luck though. But no, it's one of those things that if we hadn't have been able to get him sorted. I straight up told him, I was like, I'm gonna have to tow you back, and you're gonna have to go in and get this sorted because you can't. You're not gonna be able to fish like this. But the rest of the day after we MacGyvered it and it was fully operational, I'll tell you what, he was scooting all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, he did almost lose the trolling motor because
it wasn't tightened down. Yes,
tightened on the transom. Yeah,
yeah.
And whenever we were on the beach, or not even the beach, but it was a
oh, he's here in the chat.
The oyster bar. Oh, there he is. What's up, Brad? Yeah, the oyster bar. So whenever we pulled up to there, and there was like some waves kind of splashing and around and everything, and
it was wake from a boat. Yeah.
I was just about to say, damn, that trolling motor looks a little loose on there, like it might fall off. And then next thing I know, I think Brad catches it.
Yeah. Yep.
Right as soon as it's about to like fall off, and
I
didn't say it out loud because I didn't want to jinx it, but then it did. So
like, oh.
Yeah, whenever that was going on, I was like, maybe the paddle isn't so bad right now.
Yeah,
but
in
the grand scheme of things, pedal drive.
Yeah, definitely, and that's I will say I don't want to say that pedal drive is the end all be all answer to all things fishing off of a kayak, because it has its downsides. My kayak weighs like 110 pounds. It's heavy. Sometimes
it's pretty damn heavy,
especially after a long day of fishing. I don't want to pick that thing up and put it on my car, man. I don't have a trailer to pull it on. It sits on top of my Honda Element, and that thing sucks to get on top of there. And I can do it, but it sucks, especially after a long day of fishing. It's heavy. That thing's heavy. Yeah, not to mention the cover hatches that I've forgotten to secure, and I've lost like 3 of that I've had to replace. It's one of those things that, like I said, pros and cons.
But luckily, I mean, whenever we go kayak fishing, I will not go out there by myself. I don't think Alex really will either.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
At least that way, if you're fishing with your buddies, then you got somebody else to help you lift it up. So there are some ways to mitigate any of those little the light cons that they have. But
yeah,
it is heavy. So if you need to put in somewhere and you kind of have a far walk, it's pretty ideal to get the wheels
or bribe your buddy with breakfast or something. Like, hey man, you kind of have to help me, please, God. Because I can tell you that carrying that thing, like I have wheels that I use with it. If I didn't have those wheels, I would not go nearly as many places as I do, because that thing is heavy and I am not carrying it to and from. If I didn't have the wheels, like the wheels are an absolute necessity on my kayak. And Brad was even talking about getting one for his because of the weight of his battery.
Ooh, yeah, for sure. Because he's got a big car battery on there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's automatically like another 30, 40 pounds maybe.
Absolutely. And but speaking of portability and speaking of being able to move things appropriately, there is, if you want super portable and super light and super like risky. Travel risky is definitely. There are inflatable fishing kayaks that you can buy, and I want to say they're pretty cheap.
Yeah, they are pretty inexpensive. You won't catch me in one unless it's maybe like okay, if you're gonna be fishing like a freshwater pond or
if you're going out back or something,
then and that there's like where structure is, you don't got to worry about oyster bars or oyster beds or anything like
sharp and pointy.
Yeah, I mean you'd be okay, but that's just for saltwater. I would not recommend, because I don't want to put evil on anybody if they do have them. It's listening, but
it's one of those things that personally I wouldn't do it, and I have thought about doing it as like a review, like getting one off of Amazon or something, because they're not expensive, and that's one of the perks to them, or one of the points to people buying them is Brad brings up a great point. He said he trusts a foldable one before an inflatable one. I would also trust a foldable kayak, because those do exist. But I mean,
I've seen those.
I see one. I'm looking on Amazon right now. $80, $100, $120, $90. So you can get a kayak, and like Nick is saying, if you're just going out paddling around your backyard pond, or a springs or something like that, they're easy to travel. They're light. They're inflatable. You don't have to worry about it too much. it's one of those things that if you're going to be doing super light stuff with it and sightseeing, just with you, the paddle, and the kayak in the water, then yeah, go out and do it. But I'm not going to go out on a kayak, on an inflatable kayak, and go fishing the intercoastal like Nick and I do. Not in a million years I am.
What if you're using a knife and you drop it? And
I drop a hook and now I'm sunk.
Yeah, I mean,
anything could go wrong.
There's not a backup plan with that. Like,
no,
that
yeah.
would put you in the water automatically. And honestly, that's how you end up on one of those news articles
that we see far too often.
Yeah, I mean, there was just another one actually. I think just recently, but I think in the time frame since our last podcast, out there at the Intercoastal in Volano. Did you hear about that one?
Yeah, that was like 3 or 4 days ago.
No. Oh, there's another one?
Yeah, 3 or 4 days ago. Rough weather suspends search for missing kayaker off St. Augustine coast.
Damn it.
It happens. Sucks. It happens too often, you guys. Don't do it.
Yeah,
don't do it. It's not worth it.
It was like a month ago or maybe a few weeks
Not in the saltwater.
But it was the guy. I think he was on like a tandem kayak. Like they were actually like a kayak like team, and I think he went out there by himself. He didn't have like a vest. He didn't have a whistle or any of the safety stuff. And I think he was in Intercoastal by himself. And I mean, that dude, like, if you look from the beach out there in the Intercoastal where the ocean meets Intercoastal, it is rough.
Oh yeah, like it's super
3-foot breakers, 4-foot breakers.
Yeah, it's insane.
The current smashing right there. So I mean, yeah, I don't know what happened, but life is fragile. Don't treat it as that it's not, but like just be prepared. For me, my life is worth a lot more than an $80 inflatable kayak, or I don't want to buy I don't want to buy a life vest because it's like $40, $60. Just are you gonna bank your life on that $60? That's not,
I'm actually
not
I think
gains.
I think I'm reading the one. This was actually Christmas Eve in 2023, December 24th, 2023. He was a 46-year-old man.
Yeah, that guy.
Yep, he was fishing, or he was kayaking in St. Augustine with 2 other people even. He had 2 other people with him at 10 a.m., and he said that, or his friend said that they lost him from sight, and they later found his kayak broken in half and his paddle missing. And
in half.
I mean, so many things can go wrong out on the water, and like Nick is saying, we hear it way too often, especially here in St. Augustine and Jacksonville, because we get a lot of tourists that come in this area.
Yeah.
They get out there, and I see it a lot too. There's a place on the Intercoastal near where we go fishing that is a tourist attraction. We're like, oh, come, fish at the Intercoastal on a kayak and come kayak the Intercoastal and stuff. If you haven't done that before and you're not with someone who knows what they're doing, you should not be going out there and doing that. And
death wish.
Yeah, and it even says right here, his friends noted that he had not been wearing a life jacket prior to his disappearance. And when I first started kayak fishing, I went out twice without my PDF, without my life vest. I had it with me, I just didn't have it on. And then in between my second and third time going out, there was a father and son that ended up falling. They weren't even on kayaks. They just ended up falling in the water at Fort George Inlet. They both ended up losing their lives. And after that, ever since then, if I'm on the water, I'm wearing a life vest. If I'm putting the kayak in or out of the water, I'm wearing a life vest. Regardless of what is happening, I'm wearing a life vest. Because every time you read one of these stories, and Nick can confirm this, every time you read one of these stories, none of these people are wearing life vests.
Yeah, and the more that I've seen it, like, because for a while I'd have my life vest like behind me where I could reach it and grab it, but I've been better about wearing it now. And I actually have I got one for Christmas.
Yeah, the inflatable one, right?
Pretty spicy, yeah. So I'll start wearing that one now, because that's the thing, you could be like, oh, I could grab it in time. It's kind of like,
yeah, can you put your seatbelt on in time before a car accident?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, so I mean, like, and
put it on before an accident.
It's not as comfortable, but like, drowning's not very comfortable.
I was about to say
what I would imagine. I mean, so yeah, it's just safety.
Always.
I even bought a whistle the other day at Walmart.
Always. Which, by the way, for those of you that are listening, if you are fishing anywhere in Florida, and by extension, like the coastal United States, it's a Coast Guard requirement and is also a Florida requirement. If you are on a boat or watercraft or anything like that, jet ski, boat, pontoon boat, stand-up paddleboard, kayak, anything like that where you're out in the water, you're required by law to have your PDF with you. You don't have to have it on, unfortunately. You do have to have it with you. PDF with you, a paddle as like a backup paddle, and a noisemaker, which are typically whistles.
Yeah, a little easier than screaming.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's
well, I guess on a lighter note, we'll transition to the next topic. I don't know, unless we got anything else to add about.
Yeah, I was just gonna say about the motorized kayaks, which is what this was originally about.
Check them before you take them out. Check it before you wreck it. Like insure everything.
No, it wasn't the motorized. It was the inflatable. That was the last one we were talking about.
That's right. So I just wanted to add that, I guess. But also inflatable, if you have one, I mean, I'm sure the people that have them are well, I don't know. It could be some are going to be very, like specific. Anyway, you're going to be very attention to detail, checking it, making sure that there's no holes in it, that you don't hear any air leaking or anything. But then also it could be like, hey, yeah, this inflatable kayak, I just got it. You could buy it and it could have a hole in it. Because it could get damaged during shipping or a defect or something. So
yeah, it's definitely do a pre-trip, and I do one before I go out every time. Even on my pedal drive kayak, I make sure everything's secure. I make sure there's no new damage I don't know about, all kinds of stuff. Also, while we're on that topic of making sure your things are good, if you're storing your kayaks outside, cover them.
Yeah.
Cover them. Do not leave them out in the sun. That will destroy your kayak faster than anything else possibly could.
Yeah.
And you're not going to realize it until you're out on the water and you bump into a rock and it puts a hole in your kayak and you're taking on water.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of somebody had a kayak in the back of their Tacoma wedged like how I do, but it was in the summer when it was like 120 and it just straight up melted and folded in half.
I've seen that one. I know what you're talking about.
Which scares me sometimes. I'm trying to figure out a better way to, like, if I get a pedal drive kayak, I'm not going to be wedging it back there like that. I'm going to figure something out.
Like,
make little hitches.
I don't have a garage like to put my kayak in, so I just have it on my back porch right now, but I have a black heavy duty tarp over it, folded over twice. With the silver, like the inside actually facing out, so it's not the black absorbing the heat, it's the silver facing out to cover it in, sun and rain and whatnot. That way it's not getting... Yeah, exactly. But definitely you guys make sure you're keeping on that as much as you can, and always do your pre-trips. Make sure nothing's wrong. But the last one that we have is the Tandem Fishing Kayaks, which is something that you can buy and is something that you can get. And I'm not a fan of tandem fishing kayaks. Tandem kayaks in general, I'm not a fan of. I think if you're going to get a tandem kayak, at that point, just get a canoe. Just get a canoe.
Honestly,
they're right around the same price. Just get a canoe.
Yeah, and I mean, you got more room in a canoe, and definitely more stable in a canoe. I've had my fair share
100%.
of experience being in canoes, and knowing how the weight balance can get a little goofy sometimes. If someone leans the other way and you're not ready for it, it would be worse on a kayak. But also for fishing, I mean, I feel like the chance of you hooking the person in front of you or behind you goes up exponentially. And then so if like somebody in the back catches a fish, where are they going to put it?
Exactly.
In the person's lap?
Exactly. Like
or is the person in the front going to be the designated fish grabber and unhooker and all that?
Exactly. The amount of logistics you guys would have to run into to try to figure that out, in my opinion, is just not worth it.
No. For just sightseeing, yeah. Okay,
yeah, if you're going out and
gonna be paddling.
Yeah, like I've seen them before where like you do those what is it, the bioluminescent kayak tours and stuff. You can get tandem kayaks in there, but like, because I've done that, I've gone out on those before, but they're not really kayaks like traditional. It's basically a small canoe. I've seen them, which is why, again, if you're gonna get a tandem kayak, just get a canoe. Just get a canoe.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Because then, if you don't want to take somebody out with you, you're in a canoe. Canoes can still be paddled with one person. These tandem kayaks are made to be paddled by two people, so it's really hard to take out by yourself. Just,
Yeah.
just
Plus,
get a canoe.
I think if it's just two people, if each of those people just had one kayak, that's already increases the chances of safety, I think, because then at least if one person goes in the water, the other person's still on a kayak and could, depending on what their weight rating for the kayak is or how big it is, maybe the other person could get on that enough to get to shore or something in a worst case emergency. But
oh my! I'm looking at this kayak. I'm looking at
sweating over here thinking about that, dude.
I'm looking at a tandem kayak right now. This is atrocious. It's 10 it's 10.5 feet.
Ooh, yuck. Where your legs go? You
Don't
crisscross applesauce?
Don't like that right off the cuff. Don't like that.
Yeah.
It's 10.5 feet. It holds 425 pounds. So that's less than my kayak. That's less than Brad's kayak. That's shorter than my kayak and shorter than Nick's kayak.
Probably holds more than mine, but definitely.
But at that point,
doubt.
like two people, let's say two people go out on a kayak together. Most kayaks, their weight rating, like I'm looking at a couple different tandem kayaks right now. Most of the weight ratings on these tandem kayaks are, let's see, that one was 400, total weight capacity 450. Let's look at another one. Total weight capacity 400. Okay, so what are you doing with that? You're not going fishing on that.
About 170 a piece, roughly.
Yeah.
Then you're already right there.
And like Brad's saying, that's really short for two people. Yeah, it is. My kayak's 12 feet, and I feel sometimes that's a little short. I feel sometimes I should have gotten a 14-footer.
Dude, I saw a 16, or is either a 14 or a 16-foot paddle kayak, fishing kayak on Marketplace the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, God dang, dude, that thing is a boat right there, bro.
And they do have those. I've seen those. They're Ocean. It's like Ocean Voyager or something is the brand that typically sells the really long ones like that. But when you're,
it wasn't skinny though. It was like wide. Like it needed to have a motor on it.
That's crazy. I couldn't do that. Not for me.
I was thinking, I was like 14 foot or 16 foot, whatever it was. I was like, that's like skiff size. Just like, but that's probably why it was for sale. The dude was probably paddling it by himself. And he's like, damn, this sucks.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which, if anybody actually, you know what? Come to think of it, want to add, if anybody is wanting to buy a Pelican 12-foot sit-on-top kayak with the dry storage and a paddle,
and Nick's selling his.
Holder, I will sell mine because I'm trying to sell it to then have that money go towards
the pedal drive.
A pedal drive kayak, so that way it can make it a little bit easier. If not, no worries. But I am gonna have to, dude. There's just too many things that I'm trying to save money or spend money on. It's unreal.
It is. Andy just got a new Subi, so.
Yeah, I know. Now I got a STI. Gang.
No
regrets there. No, I have two now. Also, if anybody wants to buy a WRX, unlimited, a little bit of damage, will be rebuilt title, but I will put an engine in it and it'll have the 5-speed. And that will be for sale too, but maybe like $4,000.
Oh,
hey,
deal.
I mean, if not
40,000, I know what I have.
This one I'd have to sell cheap because it's gonna have a rebuilt title, but you can make it a rally car.
Oh,
you could
haul kayaks with it.
Car. Yeah,
go on the beach with it, fish with it. Nick and I have taken that thing on the beach and fished with it.
Dude, that thing's solid on sand before I lowered it.
He's pulled trucks out. I've seen it.
I have not done that with that car.
He had a semi in the sand.
No, I've seen videos of WRX.
I also
semi out of
snow and bank. Yeah,
snow.
Exactly.
They get down.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah, just money pits.
Gotta love it.
But I want to, but I don't need to. But I want to, so I'm.
But I think that's gonna do it for today's episode. Nick, you got anything else to add?
Yeah, it's been a while, I believe. Uh, I'm down if you are for this Sunday if the weather holds out.
Oh,
It
absolutely, yeah.
should.
Oh
Bust
yeah,
out the
no,
kayaks.
that's a great point actually, Nick. Good call. I am going to be taking the
You-
kayak out this Sunday because I have a new bait to test out and review.
Damn right
Um,
you do.
I'm working with a new company called Smokin' Baits, smoke fish with smokin' baits, and they're pretty awesome because you can actually customize all of the components of
Oh yeah.
the soft plastics that you get from them, and they have a ton of different options. They've got worms, swim baits, crawls, all stuff like that. So I ended up getting some swim baits there, and you guys have seen I haven't even opened them yet, but they're absolutely outstanding. The colors. So I got black and blue. 904 Fishing swim
Nice.
baits there
Are you able to pull your screen up on your computer on the live stream?
of like their website.
Yeah, and like customizing. Just a little.
I might be able to. I don't know how to do it like off the cuff like that.
Oh, okay, no
I'm not that good at it. Um,
worries.
but yeah, it's one of those things that it's they reached out to me actually during one of these podcasts, and I was like, yeah, that sounds really cool. And I was looking at their website, and I'll go ahead and link their website here for you guys. But I was very curious to see not only the options that they had, but the number of baits and different just things that you could do and the colors. They've got colors and flex and all kinds of crazy stuff that you can do, and it's all customizable. You guys can just do whatever you want with these things, and it's sick that you can just make your own baits.
Cool. He showed me, and I highly recommend. I need to go down there and do that as well.
Definitely check them out. It's called smokinbaits.com, SOMKINBAITS.com. I'm looking at them right here. Let's see. They've got worms, smoking beavers, crawfish, swim baits, grubs, bush bombs, curly tail worms and stuff. So I thought, because I was looking at their products and I was looking at them, and I thought, let me get some swim baits. And they've got all kinds of stuff. I'm looking at here. So they've got their color options. They've got white, black, green pumpkin, orange, neon green, neon blue, chartreuse, Junebug, red, yellow, brown, blue craw, kiwi, cocoa, oil, translucent, and none. That's an insane amount of options.
That's cool because like I've always wanted to make my lures, but I didn't want to have to like.
You don't want to invest in it. Exactly. You don't want to invest in it. You don't want to put all the time and money into it. So you can just go here and, make them yourself.
Risk-free, dude.
Exactly.
It is risk-free. And you could probably save money by doing that, by making your own lures to mimic others that you'd go and buy, like other brands.
But what you're paying for is, the
material.
Not ease. The what's the word I'm looking for?
Customization.
No, not the customization.
Hold on. Personalization. No.
Not the personal, like the ease of not having to worry about it. Like I can just go online here. Look, I'll do white and black with purple flake. You can choose three different flake options. Convenience. Thank you.
Ooh.
Thank you, Brad. The convenience of
There
it. You're choosing, you're paying for the convenience of it. Instead of going in and buying the molds and the injector and the plastics and the colors and the flakes and all the dyes and all that crap, and you don't want to deal with it, you can go to smokeabaits.com. So I'm doing white, black with purple flake. You can add salt, yes or no. Let's add salt. Toughness, soft, medium, hard. Let's go and do hard. And then you can choose pearl as well to give it an additional color. I'm not going to do that. They also have scents that you can add to it. Garlic, crawl, kraken, and none. So I'm going to do none. Do one quantity.
Fish like garlic?
Probably. I don't know.
I like garlic.
I love garlic. Catfish like garlic. I know that. So I just did all that. I'm going to look at my cart. $6.99.
What?
$6.99.
Nice.
Fully customized swim bait to my door with shipping. I'm looking at $12.
Dude, okay. Bro.
$12 for customized swim baits in my color scent, flake, and choosing.
Where do they ship out of? How soon can I get some?
I don't know, honestly. I got mine pretty quickly. There was an issue actually getting it sent to my house because my mailbox, my mail guy's just an idiot. We don't have to go into that. So I got it sent to my brother's house. But yeah, so it says right here on the packaging.
Poor mail guy watching.
Mail guy's like, man, I'm doing my best. No, I'm looking at the packaging right now. Handmade in South Carolina. So you guys,
Kakalaki.
So you guys can see right there, smoking baits, and I'm going to be doing a full review on these when we go out. Nick and I go out this Sunday. I'm going to see how many different species and how many fish I can catch on these. And I got to tell you, like I said, I don't want to open them yet because I want to open them on the video for you guys. But these things look amazing. They're oily, so I can tell like they're not going to dry out or anything like that. And the black and blue is just outstanding. And I kind of did that for, a Jaguars kind of deal color, like a Jacksonville themed color. But the black and blue is really, I think, going to stand out. I think it's just going to be absolutely insane on our intercoastal waterways how it's going to do.
Do you think the Jaguar colors is actually going to make you lose fish?
Oh, they're going to... No, actually, I think it's going to help me catch more fish because the fish will choke on it.
I was just about to say that. Damn. Man, it's tough being a Jaguars fan. I've been in, Jacksonville my whole life, but just can't have a good NFL team, but that's fine.
It's fine.
It's totally fine.
And I'm curious to see. They got, like I said, they got all kinds of stuff here. They've got, like I said, worms, beavers, craws, swim baits, bush bombs, smoking grubs, curly toe worms. They've got jig heads and stuff if you guys don't want to go out and get your own. They got all kinds of stuff. So definitely go check them out. Like I said, smokingbaits.com. I linked them. They're going to be in the description, and they're also going to be in the comments on this video. So definitely check them out. You guys, go tell me what you think about them. Go get yourself a bag. And like I said, shipping to my house, I can get a bag of customized fish baits or swim baits sent to my front door for $12 that I choose, that is my design. That's insane.
There's a saying I want to say, but I can't say it on the podcast, but you can't beat it.
Can't beat it.
But do you also want to mention what your news about Hoodoo is, or is that a little secret?
We're waiting on that. But there is more things coming, so you guys keep an eye out. And but there is new stuff happening and new things in the works, potentially with Hoodoo, which is the kayak that I use. So you guys keep an eye out for that. When it comes to fruition, I will obviously make an announcement. But yeah, I don't even know how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So there's 17 options for the first half and the second half. They both have the same amount of options. So I don't even know how to do the math. Brad, help. I don't even know how to do the math for that. But 17 options, or 17 color options for each half. And then like the amount of combinations you have there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get eight swim baits to a pack. That's how many I got.
And I'm on their website right now. It says shipping is $4.89 on all orders in the USA. It has a code when you add 3 bags of smoking worms to your cart, and whenever you enter the code, you'll get a whole bag free.
Hey, there you go.
It says 4 bags for the price of 3. That's not bad.
It's really not. And like I said, the fact that you're able to choose the colors and choose the scent and choose the hardness and the salt, the fact that you're able to do that, because you could just go to the store and buy soft plastics. But I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting at the store looking at the colors thinking, man, this color would be nice, or this combination, or this, that, da, 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 da. The fact that exactly, the fact that I can now go and choose that, like, because I can guarantee you right now, I've never seen swim baits in this color. With this black and blue, I've never seen swim baits in this color in the stores that I've been to. I'm sure they're out there somewhere in the U.S., but in the stores that I've been to, I have never seen a black and blue. And it's not even like a bright blue. It's like a navy kind of...
You work in the fishing section.
Exactly. Too. I worked at Dick's Sporting Goods, and I didn't see that color combination come through. I saw black and I saw blue, but I never saw both. And that's one of the ones when they asked, hey, what colors do you want? I thought black and blue. That's what I want. That looks awesome. I think that's going to be a great combo. And I think it's going to work great out there in the water. So I'm excited to use them. I'm excited to see how they work.
Remind me to, I was going to go by the storage unit this week, but I want to get my GoPro out of there. And
Absolutely.
any other little camera stuff. I need to get my other camera because last weekend when I went to a drag race event, I was getting good videos with my phone, but man, I need to use my camera.
That other angle. It just gives you a whole other perspective.
Dude, yeah.
But so you guys stay tuned. Not this Thursday. I have a recap video going up this Thursday of the best of 2023, so make sure you check that out. But next Thursday, definitely check out. I will be doing a full review on the smoking baits, fully customizable swim baits, and see how I like them. And I'm probably going to get some other stuff by them too, because I think it's an awesome option to have. To say like, oh man, where'd you get that color? It's like, I made it. It's fine. I did it. This is my color. I chose this.
Oh, you like this?
This
thanks.
This is custom.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I did this.
Yeah, thank you. Wow, that color's working great. Yeah, thanks. I did it. It's mine. I chose it. It's mine. I fully customized it.
That color's working great. Yeah, I know. Thanks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, thanks. But they're awesome people. They worked with me a ton, and I'm excited to give them a shot. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. But if we don't have anything else, we're gonna wrap it up. Nick, you got anything else to add, man?
Just get out there and go and fish, y'all. Just be safe. I mean, it's been a little chilly, but slightly warming up. Everybody bully Alex for not fishing in the cold.
That's fair. I'll take that. That's fair.
I've been
He's been trying. I've not. It's too cold.
I've not fished in over a month, and it is reflecting on my
mental health.
Yeah, big time. But yeah, we're gonna get out there and go do the damn thing.
Absolutely.
I guess we got a few spots to choose from where we'll go.
Yeah.
The other day, whenever I was driving through St. Augustine, I saw a cool little sandbar pop up that is right there near I forget the name of the bridge. It's the bridge that goes over to Volano Beach, and there's that boat ramp right there with
the Volano
bait
Bridge.
Shack. Yeah, it has a different name, like Joseph something.
It's the Volano Bridge. Don't even.
Volano Bridge.
It's it's the Volano Bridge.
Yeah, so pylon. But so there was the nice little sandbar that looks like it's pretty easy to get to from the boat ramp. I've wanted to go out there in the past, but now that we've been hurricane free for quite some time, it's popped up again where it looks like it'd be a good time to be able to go out there on an outgoing tide. And then it's not far in the intercoastal, so it's not sketchy, but be able to get there, beach, and then fish that drop off over there, and who knows what we'd be able to catch.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great time. So guys, keep an eye out for that. But we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate everything. We appreciate the views, the comments, the questions. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. We answer every single comment, and I respond to every single comment on every single one of my videos. So until next time, keep your lines tight, your cast long, and your stories true.
Absolutely. Yeah, y'all take it easy and have a good one. Let's finish out this week.
Cheers, y'all.